What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to another edition, a Wednesday edition, Hump Day edition. Morning Scone, presented by Brock. Hope y'all are having a good one. If you're unable to leave home, sorry about that. Stinks. Hope you're all getting through it. The somewhat good news is that people have asked me, man, what you gonna talk about? I've had plenty. And you know what? It honestly feels a lot like June, basically after the LSU baseball season ends, because you just kind of shift your content from games, actually like on-field games, to I don't want to say theory, but a lot of things like that happen, like point spreads for the upcoming college football season have started to be released, so went through some of that. But the really interesting thing is that of course, NFL free agency is underway, and we got some clarity now on some of the big names. Tom Brady going to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. How weird is that, man? I know it's always odd when we see historically great players finish their career in another uniform. It's not altogether uncommon, but still doesn't make it any less strange. So, Peyton Manning in a Broncos uniform, or Johnny Unitas in a Chargers uniform, or Jerry Rice in a Seahawks uniform, Randy Moss in a Titans uniform. It's just weird. It's weird when you see it. But lo and behold, I don't know where we are. So Tom Brady's going to play for the Bucs, and man, it makes the NFC South a lot more interesting. I liked the division with a turnover-prone Jameis and a hobbled Cam, as opposed to Tom Brady and Teddy Bridgewater. I think both those teams got better at quarterback. Although let me throw out a caveat there. I can't say definitively that I know that Carolina is going to be better with Teddy, because if Cam's healthy, man, he's been an MVP. He's played the game at an MVP level, and if it's an if, but if he is healthy, man, I I'd probably take Cam over Teddy if he's healthy. So it's a bit odd, but obviously new coach Matt Rule, and of course you got Joe Brady in Carolina, who worked with Teddy for a year in New Orleans in 2018. So if he implements a similar offense with similar terminology, that transition should be easier. So especially considering a lot of the offseason might be missed. So all right, let's see. I'll get some of your questions, comments, etc. Say some good mornings here. Andrew Bear, Kerry Hughes, good morning. How's your cousin doing at BR General? My mom is swamped. Yeah, Carrie. So my cousin Steven is the COO at Baton Rouge General, and I know they've been swamped. I mean, I've seen them on the news a few times too, but yeah, they're overwhelmed. That's why I keep saying, like, yesterday I saw this video of all the people lining up at Mid City to get tested, and I'm like, stop! What are you doing? Like, people are like, well, you need a doctor's note to be. Yes, you need a doctor's note to be tested. That doesn't mean every jackleg in line it reads the fine print and has done more than just, like, many of them probably just saw the headline, BR General Mid City is the drive-through testing. So people are like, let's go get tested. It's like, no, don't sit home. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, people are crazy, man. Anyway. Brandon Scott, Kelly Gross, Jason Mobile, good morning. Brady Beacom, Damari Harding, what's up? Nick Tarina, good morning. Jason Truax, what's up? Chuck Sanchez, what's up, Chuck? Get it? Up, Chuck? Patrick Dorsey, good morning. Good morning, bro. Can you tell me what the Saints will do about a wide receiver because they didn't trade for Hopkins? Well, Patrick, considering what Arizona gave up for Hopkins, the Saints weren't going to give that up, especially because they've never really invested in a receiver like that. I mean, the most that they've invested in a receiver, they've twice used a first round pick on a receiver. You know, in Peyton's second draft, they used their first pick on Robert Meacham. And then, of course, they traded up in the 2014 draft to get Brandon Cooks. And Cooks was obviously a good player that they ended up trading um, to New England. But the Saints have never really spent on a receiver in free agency, and I think this is the year that changes because they need to get Drew Brees help. They need to get 41-year-old Drew Brees help now. So I do think that they will address receiver and veteran free agency and not the draft because they've tried it in the draft. Traquan Smith most recently to get that guy that's the complement to Mike Thomas. And I certainly don't think that anyone thinks Ted Ginn is going to drink from the fountain of youth and all of a sudden be an 80 catch guy and be that complement to Mike Thomas. So I that's just my opinion. I do think that the Saints will look. They re-signed Kiko Alonso yesterday. Kiko took a pay cut, which I'm glad to see. Glad to see him back. I think when healthy, he's a really good linebacker. Now let's see if he can stay healthy. I think that the Saints will probably look at 24 for a linebacker or a defensive back if someone's on the board there. So you're getting both Marcus Davenport and Sheldon Rankins back off of injury this year. You've re-signed David Onyemata. You got Malcolm Brown. You're in theory you're good across your defensive front. AJ Klein signed with Buffalo, so you're thin there at linebacker. We'll see what happens with Alex Anzalone. Tweeted last week that he's a full go. He's healthy, a full go. We'll see if they trust him in that respect. But anyway, that's let's see. But I do think that they'll go receiver in free agency. Larry Holder disagreed with me on that. I mentioned that to Larry when he was on the show Monday, and we'll see. But I do think the Saints are going to address receiver in free agency. Drew Hurst, good morning. Taylor Roussel, Mark Perron, Kirk Peterson, Lucas Ragusa, Matt Anderson, Ryan Broussard, Ty Smith, Ray Wright. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see. Good look with the shaved head. Thanks, Lucas. Appreciate that, man. Ronnie Dugas, good morning. Andrew, Teddy may thrive in Joe Brady's offense. I really hope he does well. He's worked his butt off. The tough part about it, Andrew, is that most people would love to cheer for Teddy, but now he's in the Saints division, so nobody really wants him to do well. But I understand your point. Brandon, any idea what happens with Jameis? He'll be a backup somewhere. I mean, I think you have this game of musical chairs right now with quarterbacks, and you don't have enough chairs. You have more quarterbacks than chairs. So, what happens with Jameis? What happens with Cam? What happens with Jacoby Brissett now that Phillip Rivers is headed to Indianapolis? New England needs a quarterback, so they need to decide what they do. They've got Jarrett Stidham, but they'll likely add a veteran in free agency. The Chargers need a quarterback, and the Bears need to decide if they're going to stick with Trubisky or try to bring in a free agent. And let's not forget, you've also got the draft. Another guy to throw out there is Andy Dalton. What's going to happen with Andy Dalton? I think there's just more quarterbacks than there are starting jobs, and then you're going to have the influx of rookies from this draft class. So I think you're going to see guys like Jameis and can't like it wouldn't surprise me. Let's say if Cam goes to the Bears. Let's say Cam goes to the Bears, starts there. Trubisky's the backup for a year, and then they make a decision: do they want to commit to Cam long term? Are they able to trade Trubisky, or do they just cut him? I don't know, but those are interesting. Does Brissett go back to New England, where he was and did well when Tom Brady was out? Could Brissett go battle with Stidham for the starting job. Yeah, maybe. That would make a lot of sense. Trey Earl, good morning, or early. Stephen Miller, what's up, man? Roy Moore, good morning. Chris Proctor, Charlie Cavell, Matthew Rogelio, Danny Terrio, good morning. As always, shout out to Brock. Y'all, they're tagged in the post. Bringing us morning scone for a long time now, man. But we appreciate them. Of course, medical facilities are staying open. So if you find yourself in need of an orthopedist, certainly go see our friends over at Brock. Spike Sylvester, good morning. Craig Schilling, Samantha Wiggins, good morning. Thomas Chapman, Cisco Noguera, good morning. Stephen Miller, caught the tail end of your testing rant. I cannot echo those sentiments enough. So frustrating. Yeah, I don't. People are just losing their minds, man. And maybe I need to be more sensitive to that. But it's just really hard for me to watch people hoard toilet paper and hand sanitizer like the apocalypse is coming, man. I mean, anyway, if people would just be smart, just be smart, man. If you don't feel well, don't go out. Well, I could be carrying it and not know it. Well, then do all the things everyone's encouraging you to do, which is avoid contact with people if you can, cover your sneezes and coughs, wash your hands. I mean, you do all those things, you're not going to transmit the virus. All things, by the way, we should be doing every day of our lives anyway. Lawrence Burley, good morning. Jean-Pierre, good morning. Andrew, Brady versus Breeze twice a year. Let the GOAT discussion work itself out. Yeah, Andrew, I know you're being tongue-in-cheek there, but I don't think we're really going to have a GOAT conversation and decide that based on one guy at 43 and one guy at 41. And let's be clear, y'all, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. And that's not a knock on Drew Brees. Tom Brady's won 6 Super Bowls. He's been to 9. He's done it with a limited supporting cast. And I know people are going to say, well, when he was out, they still won 11-5, and they did with Matt Castle. And that's a true story. And New England's built a machine. I could also argue that part of the reason they were able to have that success is because they had built that roster and built that organization on the back of Tom Brady and were stable enough to withstand his absence. Same thing with Teddy Bridgewater this year, stepping in for Drew Brees and going 5-0. But it's not a knock on Drew. I think Drew is right there in that conversation for the greatest of all time after Tom Brady. It's just splitting hairs, man. Let's see, Brian and Andy Penton, good morning from Winsboro, headed to Virginia. Y'all be safe out on the road, man. Keep America moving. Kirk Taylor, good morning. Damari, what does the audio recordings being released mean for Will Wade's job with the new clause they put in his contract that he can be fired if new evidence is uncovered? Well, that's a good question, Damari. If you missed it, there's an HBO docuseries coming out about the FBI investigations and the corruption in college basketball, and the Will Wade tapes that the FBI is said to have are going to be played. The tapes that were played in federal court are going to be played on this documentary. So finally we'll get to play the tapes. I don't know what it means for Will Wade. I want to hear him first, Damari. I want to hear what it says. A conversation alone isn't enough of a smoking gun to suggest that there were misgivings or that bless you. See, Drew is not covering his sneezes and coughs. Drew probably just gave me the coronavirus. Hi, bud. Mimi is going to come see you. You want to come give Daddy a hug? Nope. He gone. Not interested in giving you a hug. Damari, I would say that you're right about Will Wade's contract and the new clause in there, but I'd also say you've got a new athletic director as well. And, how much is Scott Woodward willing to stand behind the guy he didn't hire? Don't know that. I sure hope Will makes it. I like Will a lot. I think he's a good coach. I love the idea of having a young guy like that build a program and stay here for 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, I know when they hired Will Wade, the idea was, man, we're hiring our version of Billy Donovan. That was the idea internally at LSU when they hired Will, and I love that idea. I love to think that he'll be here for a really long time. So, but let me hear him first before I make any reaction to it. Hey, bud, what are you doing? Hi. Hey, can you want to come give Daddy a hug? Have a hug? You want to say hi to Dad Show? You want to say hi, Dad Show? Hi, Dad Show. Come see. Hey, where you going again? No interest in his old dad today. Oh well. Nolan Kane, what's up, man? Lyndon Breeden Jr. Matt, I didn't think last year we would be against Teddy and Tom Brady in the same division. Landscape looks different now. It certainly does. And remember the other thing too is with the new playoff rules, only one team gets a bye. So only the top seed in the NFC and the AFC get a bye. And man, I think you could make a really strong case for either the Saints or the Bucs. We'll see about Tampa. With all the respect in the world to Tom Brady, I mean, you know, understanding he is what he is and he's done what he's done in his career, man. But I'm probably as shocked as anybody to see Tom Brady pick Tampa. I didn't think he was going to pick Tampa. Come to the NFC. I figured he'd stay in the AFC. I thought the Chargers made a lot of sense. You get to live in California, and I mean, you'd be in a division obviously with Mahomes, but now you're in a division with Breeze. I think you're going to a team that a year ago was 7-9. Are you the difference to push them into the playoffs for the first time in 12 years? Maybe. But that one seed becomes really, really critical. And the Saints are coming off a year where they were 13-3. I'm just really interested to see what Tampa's going to be, as is everybody. Drew's backpack's beeping. Hang on, y'all. Drew, where you going, bud? All right, sorry about that. Let's see. If you haven't done so yet, please like and share, like and share, like and share. Appreciate y'all, as always. Jumping over here to some YouTube comments for a quick second. Brady Smith, good morning, Matt and Drew. My dead Soxy order should be coming today. Never been more excited about getting socks in my life. Hope you enjoy, man. Definitely let me know how it goes. Look, I got I talked about those the Vogel alcove, the ones that they did to like for the homeless kids battling homelessness in Dallas. These are the superhero ones. They don't have the Vogel alcove does not have the stay up technology on the inside of them, just as a heads up. So these aren't the ones that are no slip, but every other one you get from Dead Soxy is. But still pretty cool, man. I love wearing them. Love all the different designs and everything. Trivia, what's up? Terry Vidito, good morning from Arkansas, aka Arkansas. Let's see. Trivia, I have someone tested positive for the coronavirus at my job. Same building, same floor. Moron traveled out of the country for fun, then came to work the next 2 days. Yep, not smart, but you're probably still going to be okay. Still going to be okay. Terry, hope the Saints don't take Jameis. Saints aren't going to take Jameis Winston, Terry. The Saints will, in my opinion, draft a quarterback this year to be their 2 or 3, depending how it goes. Because you can't go into the season with just Drew Brees and Taysom Hill, because if you're going to keep Taysom in that versatile sort of slash role, then you've got to have another option at quarterback, because you can't have your only backup quarterback running downfield covering kicks and punts and stuff. So they'll need another quarterback on the roster. Who is that? I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of a guy that's got starter experience that you could maybe get on the cheap. If that guy's lingering out there, Jameis would kind of qualify, but I think he's going to look to go be a starter somewhere where he could have the opportunity to be a starter, at least compete for it this year, if not next. But I'd probably rather, if the Saints think this is a deep enough quarterback class where they could pull the trigger at 24 on a guy like Jordan Love or Jacob Eason, or if they like Jake Fromm. I'm not saying that that's the guy, but if they like one of those guys, you pull the trigger on him at 24, get aggressive and get him in round 1, and then see if that's going to be your future at the position. I'd be down with that. I'd definitely be down with that. Let's see. Oh, so Trivia said, I hope the Saints take Cam or Jameis. Now, I'd rather Cam than Jameis. Cam's proven he can be a stud in this league if he's healthy. I don't think he's going to come to New Orleans to sit. I think he's going to look for a place where he can go start this year. And I think he's got a better shot of doing it than Jameis, I think. All right, yeah, let's do about maybe 5 more minutes here. So 5-10 more minutes. I got a meeting at 9 a.m. So I have to get rolling a little bit. Let's see. There we go. Rick Houckstan, bro. Good morning. Who are the Chargers going to get at quarterback? It's a great question, man. It's impossible to know what they're thinking. But of the available free agents for me, if he's healthy, Cam Newton's the guy. I mean, Cam Newton's an MVP. He's been to a Super Bowl. If you're looking at Cam or Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston or Jacoby Brissett, I mean, if those are the names you're looking at, I mean, Cam would be my guy. But realistically, what the Chargers are likely going to do, San Diego, LA, is my guess is they're going to try to draft their quarterback in the future. I think that has to be their plan. Let's see, Brandon. So with the contract, Breeze is locked in for 2 years, or is it a 1+1 type contract? So Brandon, we don't know the details yet of the contract, but my guess is that's what that is. It's how it's going to be structured. It'll be a 1 year with this $25 million guaranteed, and then the rest of the contract's void after year 1, and we'll see. It might even be a longer deal where they're able to spread that money out over future years as well. But the thing to consider also is, even if you will carry a heavy salary cap burden from Breeze next year and beyond, potentially, whoever is your quarterback, you're going to be paying them less than you're paying Drew Brees right now. So it's going to offset a little bit, especially if it's a rookie. Because remember, if you have a rookie and you have him on a rookie contract, well, you're talking about a super team-friendly deal where you'll be paying maybe a quarter of what you're paying Drew Brees, maybe less than that, depending on where you draft a rookie. So, I mean, that's what. Hi, bud. Hi. And go.
Mimi.
Going to Mimi's house? Can I have a hug? Come see Daddy. Drew, come. Oh, my boy. Gotcha, my boy. I love you, my boy. Look at your bum. You got a bum? You showing everybody your bum? With your moose? What? Okay, fine. No love for his daddy today. No love for his daddy today. Wait till I get home from work and it's Daddy, go for a ride in Daddy's car. Okay. I'll remember that. Hey, Dad. Good morning, Nancy Vogt. Good morning. Drew, go self-isolate the elevator at Daddy's work. He'd love to do that. That would not be a challenge for him. Richie Burt and Matt Cayley Hartung was on G.